In 2022, a girl with a pink cat avatar showed up on TikTok and went from 0 to over 1 million followers in less than 2 months. She declared herself as the only true god and convinced tens of thousands of people to pray to her every night. And for a while, she was only seen as a notorious clickbait personality. Then she said the R slur on camera, desecrated the holy books of major religions, and produced sexual content involving a minor. Her Discord server became a place she told her shy followers to live themselves on live calls.
Shy people are weak in the world and they should themselves. Ooh?
Okay.
Yeah. Shy people just shouldn't exist. You guys are disgusting.
And through all of it, she kept posting and smiling through that pink cat avatar like none of it was happening. This is the story of Meowbah, one of the most depraved personalities on the internet, and the deeper in you go, the worse it gets.
Is it a girl? Is it a guy? Is it a fucking kid? Is it an adult? You know what I'm saying? Is she Muslim? Is she Christian? Is she something? Is she her own god? Like, what is...
Meowbah is an Australian internet personality born on May 13th, 2004, and the only version of her the internet has ever seen is a pink illustrated cat girl. She started as a PNG tuber, a style of content where the creator replaces a webcam with an animated, illustrated image, which is usually of a character they've designed themselves, just like Meowbah did through her cat girl avatar. And considering how much personality Meowbah has managed to project through her animated character is certainly impressive. Her entire aesthetic is rooted in anime-style artwork. She is specifically inspired by Puella Magi Madoka Magica, and this character visible in everything she creates, which may also be why she speaks in a high-pitched voice while referring to herself in third person. She weaves broken Japanese into her English, something that has rubbed a lot of people the wrong way, because for someone who clearly draws so much from Japanese culture, the way she engages with it has always felt disrespectful. She launched her first public account on TikTok on March 5th, 2022, followed by YouTube just weeks later on March 29th. Within 2.5 months, she had already crossed a whopping 1.5 million followers. In November 2023, she announced she was done with PNG tubing and introduced a fully animated virtual character by April 2024.
Meow has something to announce! From now on, Meow will no longer be a PNG tuber. But because Meow's becoming a Vtuber! Yay! Can you say yay? Yay! If you want to ask questions from Meow's Vtuber videos, then join Meow's Discord!
She also runs a Patreon and sells art through VGen. Her Discord server alone has over 90,000 Discord members, which, by the way, is one of the most controversial parts of her online presence. And this massive audience makes you wonder how someone who had never shown her face, never revealed her real identity, and existed online only through a pink cat avatar managed to build such a massive following. But the answer goes back to the very beginning. Before we dive deeper into the story, I just want to ask for a quick favor. I've started uploading these deep dives on Spotify as well, so if you'd rather listen on the go or you simply want to support the work I'm doing, go follow me there. Just scan the QR code on screen or check the Spotify link in the description. To the first few weeks when she went online, the very first thing that put Meowbah on the map was not her art or her catgirl persona. It was a slur. On March 14th, 2022, Meowbah posted a TikTok where she was reading comments under her videos. A commenter dared her to say the R slur on camera and she just did it casually like it was the most normal thing in the world.
Meow, can you say this kawaii word? Okay,
And to be clear about what the R slur actually is, it is a word that has been used for decades to demean and dehumanize people with intellectual disabilities. It is not a throwaway word and it is not something you say by accident. You know what it means when you say it. Meowbah knew exactly what it meant and she said it anyway because a stranger in her comments told her to. The differently abled people were seriously hurt by her dehumanizing sarcasm. As a disabled person, I don't forgive Meow. When the backlash came, she uploaded an apology video on March 14th. And somehow, the apology managed to be worse than the original incident. She sat in front of the camera the entire time, loudly chewing food. And then at the very end of it, she looked into the camera and said she was sorry for offending the disabled fandom. As if people with disabilities were just another niche internet subgroup she had accidentally stepped on. Disabled fandom, disabled people aren't a fandom. The apology pulled in 5.7 million views and the backlash did not die down as people could not believe what they were watching. She had somehow found a way to make a bad situation significantly worse by showing the world that she did not actually care what she had done wrong in the first place. And the R slur was not even the full picture of what was happening in those early weeks. On March 18th, 2022, Meowbah hit 10,000 followers on TikTok and celebrated by launching her first Discord server, which she called Kawaii Corner. And right from the beginning, screenshots and clips started circulating on TikTok of what was actually going on inside that server. She was using the N-word and the F slur freely in the chat, which may explain why she was never sorry in the first place for saying the R slur. And to make it even worse, when a voice chat recording got leaked, people were horrified by the extent of her recklessness. In it, she was telling people to literally unalive themselves. At one point, a girl in a voice call mentioned she was too shy to play piano, and Meowbah told her that shy people should unalive themselves.
Shy people are weak in the world, and they should kill themselves. Ooh?
Okay.
Yeah. Shy people just shouldn't exist. You guys are disgusting.
To anyone hearing it, the casual and carefree tone of hers came as an absolute shock. A shy person does much more good to the world than that cat girl by not doing any harm, polluting the internet with nauseating videos. She has no grounds to call shy people disgusting, even less with that voice. Soon enough, her server also ended up flooded with people posting NSFW content, and some of this content involved minors. When people started holding her accountable, she shut the whole thing down and started a new one. And if that was not enough, she also made comments on Discord about wanting to force herself on people. As sickening as it all may sound, her controversial personality helped her gain 1.5 million followers on TikTok by May 2022, just 2 months after launching. And a lot of those followers were not fans at all. The anti-fandom was growing just as fast as the actual fan base, because her controversies were pulling in people who wanted to watch the chaos just as much as people who liked her content. Guys, stop hating her without me. I hate her too. And other artists in this niche were also starting to notice her behavior. Around this time, popular Minecraft YouTuber Jellybean came across Meowbah's name circulating online because people said Meowbah was cloning her. So out of curiosity, Jellybean publicly asked on Twitter who Meowbah even was, and people spammed her about everything Meowbah had been doing. She got so disgusted that her first response was to block Meowbah on the spot and post that she deeply regretted ever asking the question in the first place. This hurt Meowbah's ego, and her response to being blocked was to post about it and call Jellybean mid. So rather than reflecting on why a well-respected creator wanted nothing to do with her, she got mad. Meowbah said Jellybean was her inspiration, and after Jellybean found out, she blocked her on Twitter, and then Meowbah got mad and made a video about it. She even called Jellybean the same racist slurs that got her blocked in the first place. And running parallel to all of that was her disrespectful behavior toward Japanese culture as well. Meowbah had built her entire brand around Japanese culture and the broken Japlish she threw off into every video. But it was so obviously run through Google Translate that people started calling her out. They labeled her as a cringy weeaboo who was fetishizing an entire culture for content without having any real connection to or respect for it. So by this point in her career, she was already established as a notorious racist creator. And the more people called her out for her disgusting antics, the more shamelessly she did them again, because her rage bait antics were pulling in millions of views. But her racism was only the tip of a much darker iceberg that most of the internet didn't know yet. Because behind all of this, she was also playing a very bizarre game with serious concepts of identity, such as color, gender, and sexuality. From the very beginning, Meowbah presented herself as a character who sits completely outside the normal rules of identity. On her official website, her lore describes her as a doll who gets reborn into each universe as something new, and because of that, she claims she does not have a race.
Meow does not have a race. Meow is a doll. Dolls don't have races, silly.
She does not have parents, and
Are Meow's parents present? Just to clarify, Meow is a doll. Therefore, Meow has no parents.
and she is ageless.
Meow's voice is natural, Vicky Shan. How old is Meowbah? Meow's over 2,000 years old. But, consider Meow ageless.
Although she does claim that she is an adult. And while that might sound like a neutral answer, it was anything but neutral in context, because she was saying it in the middle of active conversations about her using racial slurs and fetishizing Japanese culture. Claiming to have no race while using the N-word in your Discord server is not a neutral answer. And just for the sake of satire, people agreed that she had no race. She then proceeded to disrespect the black people. In one of her videos during Black History Month, she changed her avatar to black. Not only this, she said something with a very snarky tone.
Meowbah, do you have black friends? Yes.
And the title of this video was downright disrespectful, removing any doubts about whether she actually is racist. Meowbah gets burnt in the sun, and while already would be too much for most creators who get cancelled online for racism, in Meowbah's case there is no end to it, because on June 19th she chose to parody the Black Lives Matter movement by joking that Meowsis Lives Matter with the N-word caption on it. Similarly, her take on the LGBTQ community is even worse and more disrespectful. On one hand, Meowbah claimed various gender identities throughout 2022, but on the other hand, her actual behavior toward the LGBTQ community told a very different story. In her first video reading Discord comments, someone asked if she supported the LGBTQ community. She was audibly straining just to say the word LGBT out loud.
What are your opinions on gay people? Meow's a proud LGBT supporter.
She excluded the Q letter on purpose. Even if it was meant as a joke, it was deeply insensitive. The Pride community did not let that slide. The thing that genuinely pissed me off is that she had trouble saying that she was an LGBT supporter and fumbled about it. On her fourth Q/A video, she told her audience to vote for her for president in 2022 with the campaign motto of less gay, more pay. She did the same in 2024 too.
Vote Meow for president 2002. Our motto? Less more pay.
This was straightforwardly homophobic. Less gay, more pay. Less Meowbah, more hope for humanity. Also, Jellybean posted on Twitter on September 2020 that she had realized she was pansexual rather than bisexual. Meowbah jumped into the replies to say that bisexual and pansexual are the same thing and that pansexual was just made up for LGBTQ people to feel special. But the most damaging thing she did in this space was the cat gender and meow gender promotion. Meowbah declared herself cat gender, meaning her gender identity was tied to being a cat.
Does Meow have an age or a gender? Meow is cat gender! Yay!
She began pushing meow gender as a legitimate identity label as well. And this caused a genuinely harmful ripple effect because cat gender is actually a real xenogender that exists within neurodivergent communities. It is specifically created to help autistic individuals and those who have complicated relationships with their gender. It was never meant to be a joke. It's just sad that Meowbah is using cat gender as her gender and just making us look even worse. So understandably, the xenogender community came forward and disowned her. We distance ourselves by calling it out and making statements that we are against it. Meowbah is a terrible person for their behavior, and we do not accept them, and they do not represent the xenogender, mogai, or LGBTQ plus communities. Because when someone with over 1 million followers picks an identity up and trolls it, they hand every person who wants to mock the LGBTQ community a brand new weapon. Suddenly, cat gender became a punchline associated with Meowbah, and the real people who had been using that label seriously got caught in the crossfire of ridicule that was never aimed at them. And throughout all of this, she was also claiming to be a furry at various points. None of it was consistent or ever sincere, and the people who paid the real price for that game were the communities whose identities she was borrowing and discarding like they meant nothing.
What made you realize you were furry? Haven't you seen all those kawaii furries? Why would you not want to be one?
And just when it seemed like Meowbah could not do anything more damaging to her reputation, July 2022 happened. On June 30th, 2022, Technoblade passed away after a long battle with cancer. If you were anywhere near the Minecraft community at that time, you know exactly what that loss felt like. Technoblade was genuinely beloved by millions of people across the world for his skill and the remarkable way he carried himself through everything, including his illness. He had been open with his audience about his diagnosis and his treatment, and people had watched him keep creating content and making people laugh through all of it. His final video was uploaded by his father after his death, and it moved the internet to tears. The grief was real, and the tributes from other creators and from fans kept pouring in for weeks because people genuinely did not know how to process losing someone who had meant that much to them. So the entire Minecraft community was still very much in the middle of grieving when Meowbah decided that was the right moment for her next antic. Less than a month after his death, Meowbah drew an illustration of herself alongside Technoblade and put it on Patreon for people to pay to access. She did not post it as a free tribute, but put it behind a paywall and tried to generate income from the image of someone who had been dead for less than 30 days. And the nature of the artwork itself made the whole thing significantly worse because it was not a respectful or neutral piece in any sense of the word. It was extremely inappropriate. It made Technoblade fans extremely angry to the extent of cursing her. She even called herself Technoblade's girlfriend, which she still claims to this day. Saying you're in a relationship with a dead man you have never even been with is insane. But she did not stop at the artwork. On top of the Patreon post, Meowbah also uploaded a separate video in which she performed inappropriate acts with a Technoblade plush toy on camera. The reaction from the Minecraft community was unlike anything Meowbah had faced before. People who had never heard of Meowbah before were now learning her name for the worst possible reason. Their anger was personal for a lot of reasons. This makes me want to find Meowbah and shoot her in her dumbass face with a 12. Many people who had followed online drama for years came out and said it was one of the most disrespectful things they had ever seen a creator do to someone's legacy. And that is a high bar to clear on an internet that has seen a lot. The shameless sexualization of someone who had passed pushed some people to call her a necrophile. Meowbah issued a response on August 8, 2022, in which she stated that she did not condone necrophilia and this is just a supportive art. The artwork never came down either. She posted her disclaimer and moved on like it was settled, and the community received that exactly as well as you would expect. In fact, she posted an apology video where she acted more non-serious than before.
Meow also apologizes for the title of my art video. Meow suffers necrophilia. Meow can't help it.
This was the moment that truly defined Meowbah's reputation. Before July 2022, she was a controversial and offensive TikToker whom a lot of people found deeply unpleasant. After July 2022, she was the person who did that to Technoblade, and no amount of cute animations or kawaii aesthetics has managed to shake that reputation since. And if the Technoblade incident was the moment that defined Meowbah's reputation in the Minecraft community, what she did with religion is what made her notorious far beyond any single fanbase. It started in 2022 during one of her Q&A videos, where someone asked her if she could beat the God Almighty of the Muslim religion. Instead of ignoring such a question that could potentially disrespect an entire belief system, she said yes without hesitation and declared herself capable of defeating Allah. She also gave herself the nickname Meowbah to go along with it.
Could you beat Allah in a fight? Of course Meow could! Meowbah! Meowbah-chan!
That disrespect alone would have been enough to cause serious backlash, but the timing made it significantly worse because the video went out on the very first day of Ramadan, which is one of the most sacred periods in the Islamic calendar. And Meowbah chose the opening day of it to announce herself as stronger than God. At the end of that same video, she told her audience that she had founded her own religion called Meowism, and that Meowism was the only real religion in existence. She preached it by telling people how they could earn the title of Meowist.
What are your opinions on religion? Meow is a Meowist, a part of the Meowism religion. Meow believes Meowism is the only real religion. Can I join Meowism? If you believe and pray to Meowbah each night, you can become one with the Meowists.
Meowbah then posted a video where she held the Quran, Holy Book of Islam, in her hands and replaced it with her own scripture, the title of which was inspired by the Bible. It made all the people mad, be it Muslims or non-Muslims, because she was not only dismissing Islam but also positioning herself as a direct replacement for it. Oh, now you're pretending to be Islam, that's not funny, dude. Then on September 13th, 2022, she uploaded a video as a full and genuine apology. It was supposed to address everything and show some kind of accountability. It did neither of those things.
But instead, Meow wants to apologize for all the disrespectful things Meow has done. Meow never meant to hurt anyone.
Instead of actually taking responsibility for any of what she had done, Meowbah spent the video working through a list of explanations for her behavior that were clearly designed to shift the blame away from herself entirely. She claimed to have mental health issues. She was placing her diagnoses between herself and accountability. She tried to manipulate her audience by saying that the things she had done were not really her fault because of conditions she had never mentioned before and has never discussed in any meaningful depth since.
Meow has bipolar disorder and DID, so many of Meow's actions were actually Meow's system altered.
And then she addressed the God controversy specifically, claiming that she had religious trauma and that this was why people should not criticize her for what she said.
Meow's tics. Meow also suffers severe religious trauma, which made Meow not lash against Allah and other believers. This was unacceptable for Meow to do.
Religious trauma is a real and painful experience that real people carry, and using it as a reason why you should be allowed to declare yourself stronger than other people's God without consequence is not how that works. And while she was apologizing, she went on to say the same thing that was disrespectful in the start.
Milky Way. And as Meowbah, God of the Milky Way, God of Meow's, God of the Earth! Meow will sacrifice Meow's mouth to save mankind, save you all from total annihilation and cosmic slavery!
After spending the entire runtime deflecting and excusing, Meowbah closed it by pointing her camera down from a high balcony and holding it there long enough to suggest that she was about to jump. This unsurprisingly turned out to be another cheap stunt for attention, and soon enough she was back on track, playing with people's religious sentiments. In September 2024, she posted a video of her avatar in a church with Mary on a cross song and titled it Meowbah on a Cross. The song is believed to reference Mary Magdalene, a follower of Jesus. There is even artwork of her on the cross. But all of that was still just a build-up to what happened in 2026. On March 16th, 2026, during Ramadan again, a video was posted to X allegedly showing Meowbah desecrating a copy of the Quran. The video ran for 2 full minutes and was filmed from 3 separate angles, and then she uploaded a reframed version to YouTube Shorts and TikTok describing it as a video of her reading the holy book.
And today, Meow's gonna be asserting Meow's dominance
as a true Muslim girl
by da-da-da,
praying and reading
the Quran.
She also attached a happy Ramadan message to the post to add more disrespect and tease people, and even made an internet archive in case the video was taken down. This was seriously a targeted and Islamophobic act. The backlash went crazy. A Russian YouTuber named Jim Gold made a rant video about the incident. Seeing this, Meowbah messaged him on Discord with threatening NSFW artwork featuring both of them. Jim Gold then launched a live stream where he brought Meowbah in and pushed her to issue a public apology to Muslims. The stream is not available now, but she did not stop at the Quran. On April 9th, 2026, Meowbah desecrated Torah as well, extending the same treatment to the Jewish holy book too.
Today, the Torah! Yay! May the Jewish seek salvation in the truth of Meowsm, and praise be to the Lord Meowbah! Meow!
She also wrote Meow across both books afterward, branding them under Meowism and asserting her own identity over them. From 2022 through 2026, Meowbah returned to religious mockery over and over again, targeting all 3 of Abrahamic religions. I've never seen anything so ridiculous in my life. She never stopped, and she never showed anything resembling genuine remorse. So, people made artworks of themselves trolling her self-made religion. Yet when her God syndrome didn't catch enough attention, she went on to ragebait by claiming herself as a Muslim in hijab.
Happy Ramadan, yeah? Meowbah, are you Muslim? Yeah, can't you tell by the hijab? Silly Billy, mashallah.
On May 19th, 2026, she uploaded another video of converting to Islam and reciting the translation of the last chapter of the Quran.
Hola, Habibis! It's Meow time, the Muslim here. And today, Meow wants to read Meow's favorite verse from the Holy Quran. The ending.
Bros pretending to be Muslim after starting its own cult. And talking about cult, Meowbah really has her own Meowist cult. When Meowbah announced during a video that she had founded her own religion with herself as the sole deity, most people expected it to be a one-time edgy joke that fades out within a week. What actually happened was the opposite. Meowism developed into a fully structured belief system with its own language, rituals, ranks, rules, and holy text. The religion has 2 recognized branches: Orthodox Meowism, which was the dominant form in 2022 and 2023, and Modern Meowism, which is what her current Discord server follows today. Orthodox Meowism had weekly church services held inside Roblox, which were filmed and uploaded to Meowbah's channel as actual content. Children logged into a video game to attend church for a pink cat girl avatar, and it was streamed to an audience. The conversion process was documented and formalized on her official website. The old orthodox method of converting to Meowism required printing out a picture of Meow-chan, placing it inside a circle of lit candles, and singing the opening theme of Puella Magi Madoka Magica. The modern conversion prayer reads like a direct parody of Islamic prayer structure, beginning with the words All Hail, the Great Lord, Meowbah, and moving through lines like I bear witness that there is no God but Meowbah, and I will be meowtized and cleanse myself of sin in the name of Meowism, a meow. The deliberate mirroring of real religious prayer language is not accidental. It was designed to provoke the exact communities it was parodying. Within Meowism, there are also defined ranks and roles. Meowistic artists are community members who create artwork depicting their characters in Meowist uniforms and are considered deeply valued within the religion. Meowist angels are people who give Meowbah money through YouTube memberships, which tells you a lot about what the religion was actually built to do on a practical level. And there are people who genuinely participate in all of this. Fans have their own separate Meowism websites. TikTok has hundreds of thousands of posts under tags like Meowism, Meowist, Meowist and Proud, Worship Meowbah, and Meow God, with fans creating edits, artwork, conversion tutorials, and content around this made-up religion on a regular basis. Some have made satirical edits, but that just speaks for how normalized this kind of disrespect is becoming in her fandom. Her cult likes posting videos of themselves doing this and mocking people who call it rage bait content. The Meowbah fan page community is active and produces daily content that treats Meowbah as a genuine deity and Meowism as a genuine belief system worth defending. But then on the other side of that sits one of the most organized anti-fandoms on the internet. The anti-Meowism community is just as large and just as active as the Meowist community, filled with people who argue that Meowism is not a religion but a cult, that it exists purely to serve Meowbah's god complex, and that the people inside it are being manipulated by someone who has shown repeatedly that she does not care about the well-being of the people around her. This is so serious of a matter that a Reddit user said their 9-year-old sister keeps trying to convert them to Meowism, insisting it's the true religion and even showing them Meowism websites. Despite politely saying they don't share those beliefs, the sister wouldn't take no for an answer and kept pushing them to convert. And while she's brainwashing her underage fans into joining a cult, people are not even taking it seriously because they think it is a fandom. Take it seriously, 9-year-old is in a cult and your parents don't care? My parents think it's a fandom, not a cult, and they thought it was just a joke. I feel like this isn't as hilarious as people seem to think. Meowism sounds like an online cult targeted at minors, so it's probably filled with predators. It better be a phase. It wouldn't be wrong to say that Meowbah is targeting minors, specifically because over the past few years, she has done several things that raise serious concerns. For example, on February 7th, 2025, Meowbah posted a video calling out Bella the Wolf over allegations involving inappropriate behavior with minors. At first, that might make it seem like Meowbah was taking a firm stance against harmful behavior. After all, speaking out against that kind of misconduct should be a good thing. Meowbah actually changing into a good person, I never thought I'd see the day, but that image becomes much harder to accept when you look at Meowbah's own history. In October 2022, she uploaded a highly inappropriate illustration featuring herself alongside Tommy Innit. Tommy Innit was still a minor at the time. The image was not presented as harmless fan art, and the way it was framed made the situation deeply disturbing. Even worse, it was reportedly placed behind a Patreon paywall, meaning people were being asked to pay to access content involving the likeness of an underage creator. And this is where the concern becomes bigger than just one post. Because once a creator repeatedly blurs boundaries around young audiences, shock content, and adult themes, it becomes harder to dismiss each incident as a one-off mistake. That pattern appeared again in summer 2024 when Meowbah posted content on Twitter referencing singers Melanie Martinez and Timothy Heller, together with an 18+ label. The issue was not just the label itself. The problem was that Meowbah's audience has always included younger fans, and placing an adult warning on controversial content can sometimes make underage viewers more curious instead of keeping them away. But what was happening around Meowbah's community during this period was even more concerning. In July 2024, an interview was released with a former friend of Meowbah known as Tofu. In that interview, Tofu spoke about what had allegedly been happening behind the scenes, and the claims painted a much darker picture of Meowbah's online circle.
You know, that took over, people were harassing me about it, stuff like that. I was banned from the server.
According to Tofu, Meowbah had manipulated multiple people in her inner circle, using her platform and her relationships to control the people around her.
I forgot why. I felt like I was needed to, as if I was forced to, because he basically was controlling me, and I felt vulnerable.
But beyond the manipulation, the interview revealed something considerably more serious. A 13-year-old had been doxxed by someone in Meowbah's close circle.
I'm pretty sure that was when Cloak was threatening to dox me and stuff like that.
Tofu's own private images were leaked inside the Discord server without consent.
I was extorted and blackmailed and stuff like that. So mine were leaked. And my ex-partner that I was with for a whole year before the whole Meowbah thing, people actually got in contact with him.
And Tofu had been blackmailed by someone connected to Meowbah, which eventually pushed Tofu to attempt
I was put on watch with, not necessarily watch, but kind of I wasn't allowed to be left alone for a few weeks, so my parents were looking after me all the time.
There were also allegations that inappropriate conversations involving minors were taking place inside Meowbah's Discord server. And the bigger issue was that the server appeared to have little to no proper moderation, because when a community includes underage members, poor moderation creates a space where vulnerable users can be exposed to harmful people, unsafe conversations, and situations they should never have been placed in. Gilder Guy, an Australian YouTuber known for undercover content, went undercover on her Discord Discord server, and what he discovered was absolute chaos with adults and minors on voice calls.
No. This guy on the top's just vibing. What's this guy on about? Okay, I think I've had enough of that voice chat. I don't think I want to go in there anymore. Alright.
That alone tells you how unsafe this server is for kids, and this was not the only incident involving a minor. In 2022, a so-called face reveal claiming to show Meowbah's real identity was uploaded to an alternate account that many people associated with her, but the video did not add up. It showed a young boy who looked nothing like what people expected, and the voice in the clip sounded completely different from the voice usually heard in Meowbah's content.
So what I look like. Some of you guys might not have expected me to look like this, but maybe if you did, I guess good for you.
The confusion around that video was later addressed by YouTuber Willen, who now goes by Newbie2. According to Willen, someone claiming to be Meowbah contacted him on Discord and asked for permission to use his face in a video. According to Willen, he agreed without knowing exactly how it would be used. He later discovered that his face had been featured in the supposed Meowbah face reveal, creating the false impression that he was the person behind the account.
And I wake up the next morning and I see that she linked me a video with her revealing her face, and it was just my face. It was my face reveal video, but it was just cut up to make it seem like that she was revealing her face, which was just my face.
So once again, Meowbah's name was connected to a controversy involving a minor, and once again, the situation raised serious questions about boundaries, consent, and accountability. But as we have seen by now, this was not an isolated problem. Over time, Meowbah built a reputation for jumping from one controversy to the next without appearing to think through the consequences. Whether it involved young audiences, offensive jokes, or harmful misinformation, the cycle was always the same, where she posts first, causes damage, and only deals with the backlash afterward. And one of the clearest examples of that reckless pattern was her anti-vaccination drama. On April 24th, 2022, Meowbah posted a tweet claiming that even though people around her were double vaccinated and still catching COVID-19, she had remained uninfected despite being unvaccinated. She used this as a basis to suggest the virus wasn't real and that the government was deceiving the public. It is almost ironic that just 3 days later, she tested positive again. The viewers couldn't stop laughing about it. I hope you learned something, but the COVID tweet was not just another random controversy. It showed how easily Meowbah could take a serious issue, turn it into ragebait, and then benefit from the reaction that followed. And that is why, despite everything, she is still active across the internet. Outrage has become part of her brand. People watch because they are angry. People share because they are shocked. And every time her name spreads, the cycle starts again. Some people want her banned. Some want her investigated. Some want her gone from social media completely. Others keep watching because they want to see how far it can possibly go before it finally catches up to her. But for now, Meowbah is still doing exactly what made her infamous in the first place. Only now, the controversies are louder, the backlash is bigger, and the consequences feel more inevitable than ever.